Hi, everybody. Hey, congratulations. Good job on doing really well and mastering the chemical reaction unit. So you are now in, you should be in, the only way you're going to be able to see this video is if you are. So you should be in the Chemical Reactions Independent Project folder. This is something that only you can see. Nobody else can see this one. And so you'll be going here today and then the next class period that we meet this week. Okay, I'm going to have you all take a look right here, Chemical Reactions Unit Independent Project. This is a quick slideshow that I've got to just kind of explain what your independent project. It's a little bit structured, but you still have some choice in your final project, like how you're going to demonstrate or show that you've demonstrated understanding. So let me take you through this real quick. I don't know what I'm doing. How come that didn't, hang on, sorry. I'm going to move me there. Okay, so you all are going to have two investigation questions. The first one is, what's the difference between physical and chemical properties of matter? So if you remember, and if you need to go back and look at your vocabulary, you should have it since you've mastered this unit, but you know what a property is. It's a character trait. And so we've talked about chemical properties when you all did your element superhero. I asked you to identify physical and chemical properties. And so I would like you to be able to express exactly what is the difference between physical and chemical properties of matter. And then the second question is, how do atoms behave during physical changes as opposed to chemical changes? How do they behave? Okay, remember the two steps that atoms kind of go through in a chemical reaction. Basically what I'm asking is, do they do the same thing in a physical change? What's the difference between the two? All right, so here are your requirements for your independent project. Number one, it says you've got to demonstrate your understanding of the answers to the two investigative questions through evidence of research. So I'm asking you guys to look for at least two different reliable sources. And you can use any website as long as it's reliable. Remember, like a blog or Facebook, those would not be reliable. So make sure it's a reliable website. If you find any videos on YouTube that you'd like to use, again, make sure they're reliable. And if you've got a hold of a textbook or any other resource like that, you can certainly use that. Once you have done a little bit of research and you've got the answers to the two questions, I want you to write a written response to the questions, to both questions, using complete sentences. Okay, so this could be a very short paragraph: restate, answer, cite your evidence, or tell me what the evidence is, and then explain that. Don't forget to cite your sources too. I want you to somehow, I'm not going to be a real stickler about how you cite your sources, but if you get something from a website, go ahead and copy the URL address and put it on your paper so I can check on that website, make sure that it's a reliable resource for you. If you watch a video, same thing, copy and paste the URL address on that page that has your answers to your questions so that I can go back and double check those for you. Okay, when you're finished writing the written response to the question, this is the fun part. I want you to design your own hands-on activity in which you demonstrate your understanding of the differences between physical and chemical properties and changes. So don't lose sight. There's always going to be two investigation questions. So your hands-on activity needs to discuss, or needs to kind of talk about, physical properties and chemical properties, and then physical and chemical changes. Okay. Here's some ideas that I have. You're not limited to these. If you come up with your own, that's fine. But I was thinking maybe a kitchen lab or a cooking demonstration. Create a kinesthetic model of both of those properties and changes. Think about our tokens that we used. It was a physical model, and you could rearrange and touch and move things to kind of demonstrate your understanding. So that would work perfectly. think about making a science show for kids, and it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Just, if you want to make a skit and play the part of a character, this would be a fun thing to do for that. Your choice. Come up with an idea. Let me know what you're going to do before you do it, though. I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page. The last thing is I want you to record yourself doing this activity. So if you have created a kitchen demonstration or a cooking demonstration or a kids show, you're doing a skit, you want to, whatever, you have to videotape yourself. And the idea, remember, is you are explaining verbally the difference between physical and chemical properties and physical and chemical changes. Okay? What about this? Game changer. I don't know what that looks like for you. If you want to work on a project by yourself, of course, you're welcome to do that. But you may work with a partner for this enrichment activity. And your partner does not have to be in your same class period. The only stipulation is, obviously, if your partner did not test out, they cannot work on this project. So they have to be able to be working on an independent project before you can work with them on it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So here are the due dates. There are 2 parts to this assignment. First part is your paragraph. So your written explanation of both investigation questions will be due at the end of the period of your next class. That's a long time to get this answer. I have no doubt you guys are going to be able to get it. So either Thursday or Friday, March 31st or April 1st. The other kids are going to be taking their end of unit test. You won't be taking that. So you've got time to work on your project. You've got time to type up a nice response to these 2 investigation questions. Make sure, again, that you've got your sources on there. So that's due the next class period. The video demonstration, I'm going to give you a little bit longer to complete that because I don't know what you want to do. It may take a little bit of time. I don't want you to spend a whole lot of time on this. It's an enrichment activity, but I want you to have fun with it, obviously. So your video demonstrations of your hands-on activity or your model will be due when you come back after Easter break. And I don't want you guys to email those to me. I'm not putting anything on Schoology for you to submit a video because some of these may be a little bit longer. And so the easiest thing I think is for you just to airdrop your videos to my laptop when you come back. Okay? All right. Need some inspiration? I've got 2 videos for you in Schoology to take a look at. I can't believe I'm sharing these with you. So here's the story behind these. What am I doing here? Oh, fabulous. I just closed that. All right. So while I sign in on this again, last year when we went to quarantine, we went so quickly. Whoops. That's not what I want. We went so quickly that nobody really knew what we were doing. And so there we go. So we were only allowed to give 20-minute lessons. And again, we were kind of just flying by the seat of our pants. So the first couple of lessons that I did, we were literally right in the middle of this chemical reaction unit. And I wanted to make sure that the kids, that we could finish it. But I couldn't do Schoology because some kids didn't have internet. And so I created these videos. Whoops, you guys are an independent study. Hang on, let me go back to that. So I created 2 videos talking about chemical reactions and physical properties of matter. And so I've got these 2 videos here. I'm not going to show them to you right now. I'm going to let you watch them. The physical properties, I started like at 5 minutes or something like that. Only watch it until I finish making the nachos. You'll understand what I mean. Okay. Because that's kind of a demonstration of a cooking demonstration. And then this one here, the chemical reactions, it's a review. You might be okay to watch the whole thing. Anything that I talk about for Schoology or, do this assignment or whatever, don't worry about that, obviously. But just kind of giving you some ideas of some fun things that you could do at home. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop sharing. Get ready to quit. Let me know if you've got any questions. Have fun with this. This is totally up to you and your imagination. Have fun.